Hey pterodactyls, it's your resident Homosaurus here, and welcome to my podcast, A Homosaurus in a Book. On today's episode, I'm going to be reading chapters 12 and 13 of The Loyal Pin. Now, I was unable to read this chapter right after the last podcast because something came up and I had to leave. So I'm really salty about that because I really was interested in to know how the story was going to unfold after finding out that Little Miss Preck has been keeping an eye on Lady Pin for Princess Anil, and that, she's been informing her of any possible enemies that, could be infiltrating her domain or, trying to get with her girl. So that was a nice little twist I didn't actually see coming. I didn't know that, Princess Anil was so blatant about her feelings for Lady Pin. I kind of knew, well, I guess blatant, like we've all read so far up to now. And if you haven't, you've heard me read it. The princess is quite forward with her feelings, but it sometimes can, because she doesn't outright say she's in love with her or anything, that it could be kind of brushed off as messing around or whatever. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting her to recruit Preck to keep an eye on her girl for her, which I'm here for it. But as we know from the last few chapters, we have 2 more years of life to get through before Princess Anil is back. So I don't know if these future chapters are going to contain, like the last 2, the time period in between, so the 2 years before Princess Anil comes back. And we're going to get to know a little bit more about how their life in university's going and, the friendships they've made along the way, if we're going to get more insight into that, or if we're just going to skip right to Princess Anil returning, which at this point, the last 2 chapters, having my girls separated, I'm about ready to have them both reunited and to see just exactly what Princess Anil does, knowing that there's quite a few men courting her girl. So I'm excited. This next chapter is called The Grand Prince. So, why? I don't know. The Grand Prince. Is it her brothers? I'm hoping it's about her brothers, Princess Anil's brothers, and not some other prince who's come to court Princess Anil or something. I don't know. I'm nervous about the title, but I just kind of want to hop right in because, the waiting from the last chapter to this chapter has been torture for me. So, yeah, I'm just going to get right into this. Oh, but before we do get into this, if you can, please go support the author Monma by purchasing their book, The Loyal Pin. I purchased the book on Amazon for Kindle, which if you look through my Twitter at pterodactyl_Tara, pterodactyl with a T, A-R-A, I did tweet out the link to where I purchased the book, but I also do know that you can purchase the book on the MEB app. So if you download that app, you can also purchase the book there. And as I said before, if I come across any other ways that you can purchase this book, I will let you all know. But yeah, if you can, if it's possible, go purchase that book and, help a queer content creator out. Awesome. Now, with that all being said, let's get right into this. Chapter 12. The Grand Prince. For certain individuals, the waiting period seems to inch by at a leisurely pace, lasting seemingly forever, as if it were infinite, while things had changed in the blink of an eye. For instance, the Pine Palace was quickly completed on the same day as Pilantita crossed out her desktop calendar from the first day she waited up to the 6th year, with a focused and hopeful attitude. Under Princess Anilapat's ownership, the Pine Palace, while not as vast as the Grand Prince's Burafa Palace, or even the second Princess Horadi Palace, is by no means as small as Princess Padmika had previously mentioned. A Western-style ash indigo 1.5-story house with a terrace in the spacious area surrounded by tall pines. The back of the palace is decorated with a beautiful garden with a pergola for afternoon tea hidden away in the corner of the garden. Exclusively, on the side of the palace under the shade of the pine trees, there is a tennis court painted with green leaves contrasting with the bright white of the stadium border. Anil is both playful and well off, Prince Anatawut, who came to inspect the palace, said thoughtlessly. It seems like Anil, Prince Anand said, laughing. We'll see if we will be invited to play tennis here, the eldest brother said, while swinging his arms forward and backward all the way, as if he was practicing to whip a tennis ball. It must have been hard. After I met her last year, it looks like the two of us will be the very last person that she will invite. Prince Anand raised his hand and stroked his chin. I mean, the brothers said it, you know? I mean, they must realize somewhere deep inside them, maybe not, consciously, but they must realize that they are the last people that Princess Anil is thinking about when she comes home. She's not going to want to play tennis with her brothers. She's going to want to play tennis with her girl. That's the only balls Princess Anil will allow around them. I'm sorry. Tennis balls are the only balls Princess Anil's gonna be touching, and she's the only balls that she's gonna let Lady Pin touch. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. Anyways. I am afraid we both have to grow a mustache to frighten boys. Anil is so beautiful. I don't think boys are the problem, but hey. Sure, Prince, sure. I believe so, but I also think the wealthier and more refined Anil becomes, the harder it is to find a man willing to propose to a woman of high status. It's like searching for a needle in an ocean. Your words give me intuitions, Prince Anand remarked with a wide smile. I fear the Western gentleman may not share your perspective. That's even more concerning. Western men, particularly those of European descent, tend to be bolder than Thai men. What about the Western women? I think they're the real threat you gotta be worrying about out there, dudes, my dudes. But sure, let's blame it on the Western men. It's just so funny how the princes are so worried about these men going after their sister that they're gonna let, the ladies slip right under their noses and under the princess. No, see, I shouldn't have hesitated. I ended up saying it, but I should have followed through. As I was saying it, my brain was like, shit, no, this is an explicit podcast. I warned people, so you know what? C'est la vie. You're gonna get what comes to my brain. But yeah, so they're letting the ladies slip right under their noses and slip right under Princess Anil in return. And hey, it is what it is. Gotta love these oblivious men. Has Anil been appointed to be engaged to anyone? Prince Anand finally asked, expressing his concern. Not as of now. In father's perspective, Anil is still quite young, and the suitors worthy of her titles all have their imperfections. Some are older, some less affluent, and some appear unkept. None seem to meet father's approval," the Grand Prince explained, shaking his head. "Being born into royalty is challenging, and being born as a female royal is even more challenging by many folds. At the very least, both of us can select a life partner without the constraints of royal titles, unlike her. Is that so?" It appears the Grand Prince's gaze is dimming, if only for a brief moment, a mere fraction of a second. But Prince Anand immediately noticed it. "Soon you'll be marrying Lady Parvati. Please, brother, don't dwell on the past, brother." The Grand Prince looked at his younger brother, who had not only his sweet face from Princess Alyssa, their mother, but also her gentle smile. "I don't want to dwell on it, but I find myself unable to stop thinking, Anand. My commitment to Ungfa is strong, but our family ties are very close. If I insist on my own way, it won't bode well for our future child. With all the knowledge and studies I've had, how can I simply ignore it?" Prince Anantawut looked gloomily when he mentioned Ungfa, who is titled to be Princess Alyssa's niece, with grief. Lady Ung, who is younger than the Grand Prince by almost 12 years, has a beautiful face and a sweet, gentle manners, like a Lanna woman. This has imprinted in the eldest brother's very consideration from the first time he saw her face when Princess Alyssa took him to visit the Princess Darare's palace. The prince's aunt is Chiang Mei. At the time, Prince Anantawut only kept everything with him, regarding the desire which he expected that his feelings might change as times go by. But as long time passes, the affection towards Lady Ung grew more every time he had the opportunity to meet his relatives at various events. Wow, I can't imagine how hard it must be to be kind of wed to somebody who you don't know. Like, I know that was a practice in a lot of cultures for the longest time, and I think still some cultures practice it, but I personally can't imagine not knowing somebody and being betrothed to them. But even especially being a lady in this time period, like having not any say, like you said in the royals, as a royal, that the brothers, the males, have some sway-ish with who they choose as their intended betrothed, but the women have no say in anything. They're given a male who their family picked out for them, and that's it. Like, I know it happens with males too, but like he said, they can choose somebody who's not really royal and of a lower standing than them, and it'll be okay because they're seen as the head of the house and they elevate her position to theirs. But it would never be okay for a princess to be with somebody of a lower position, because then she would lower herself to their class or whatever you want to call it at that time period. But yeah, it's interesting. I like reading period dramas and time pieces because it's so different to how the world is now. Like, I don't know if do they practice that in Thailand? Arranged marriages? I'm actually not sure, but yeah, it's just a lot of timepieces. It's interesting to see how the world worked back then and how much different it is now, or maybe not so different as it is now. But yeah, I love reading these kind of things. Anyways, sorry, that was just a little blurb. But yeah, let's continue on. Even though they don't meet frequently, the tender voice with which Lady Ungfa addresses him as Brother Cao continues to resonate in his mind, causing a stir every time he reminisces about it. "This is only between us, Anan." The Grand Prince smiled, but looked even more gloomy. "Even Lady Ung doesn't know, nor should she know. But it seems that Anil is aware." Prince Anon admitted, unable to deny that he had learned the secret from Princess Anilapat during his welcome reception when returning from Europe 6 years ago. That one, just a glimpse of her eyes, she will already know Anon. She is very clever. Of course she is, that's my girl. Never underestimate Princess Anil. She's going to make sure that this book ends in a happy ending, because she is going to outwit everyone, and she's going to make them think she's living as a spinster with Lady Pin for the rest of her life. When secretly they're married and, just living their best life in the palace, the Pine Palace. But everyone around them will think they're two spinsters who just are unmarried and, being the bestest of friends living in the palace that the princess made for her. They're just gals being pals in that palace forever. If you made a commitment to Lady Parvati, you should let go of her, Prince Anon advised, reminiscing about his future sister-in-law. In Prince Anon's opinion, no matter how lovely and charming Lady Ung might be, she couldn't compare to Lady Vati, a foreign student with a captivating personality reminiscent of a Western girl. I know that. The Grand Prince's eloquent face suddenly became solemn, as even Prince Anon could not defend himself in time. I will get over her, Anon. Don't worry. Yikes. That's gonna cause some drama. I'm gonna see some drama there. I can see some situation arising later on in the books from that little love triangle going on. Thank God. I hope our girls don't have any love triangle, because that's too much for me. Can we just get them, like a slow burn, or Princess Anil comes back, she kind of courts the lady. Their only issue is that in the time period and their family, they gotta be very, very, sneaky about it and not, hide from everybody that they're in love. And I just hope that's the only drama we get. I don't want a love triangle. I really don't. Anyways, I hope I didn't just jinx myself. That would suck. Let's keep the love triangle to the heterosexuals right now in this book, please. I'd very much appreciate that. Anyways, moving on. Why was the Pine Palace required to be finished 2 years before Princess Anil's return? Breck voiced her doubts on the day Lady Pin convinced her to enter and investigate the Pine Palace, despite being unable to contradict Princess Padmika's command. Lady Pin, please go and see for me. If there is anything untidy, we can fix it up in time. Maybe because the king misses his little daughter so much. Therefore, if it is Princess Anil's wish, His Majesty hastened to finish it early. Lady Pin looked at the surroundings of the palace and answered Breck's question. The interior of the Pine Palace was decorated with Western-style furnishings. The central hall is characterized by a fireplace connected to the chimney, not different from drawings and colorings in thick tales. In front of the fireplace, there is a beige-down U-shaped sofa, which looks very soft and comfortable to sleep on. Near the window frame on the balcony sits a smoky gray sofa and a round reading table. One master bedroom is simply decorated with indigo and taupe green, contrasting with the soft white of the bed linen. The guest room, which is 3 times smaller than the master bedroom, is decorated in the same color scheme. It's 3 times smaller because it's not intended for Lady Pin. The master suite is intended for Lady Pin and Princess Anil. The other suites are just for guests. Do you really think the princess is gonna make a palace and not have her lady sleep in one of the biggest bedrooms? Let's be honest with each other, everyone. And they were roommates. The guest room, which is 3 times smaller than the master bedroom, is decorated in the same color scheme. Beyond that was an English kitchen decorated with all the little things. To the east of the palace is a modest navy painted office surrounded by shelves with thick picture books. Picture books. Interesting. Is she already planning on having children with Lady Pin, and they're gearing up for their child to start reading picture books? I mean, I'm sure adoption's an option. The 2 spinsters just took in a child because, nobody else could take care of the poor child. So the 2 best friends took the child in and, raised it as one of their own. And had nice picture books for the child to learn from. I'm just kidding. It says thick picture books. I'm assuming it's probably like medical journals with images or something like that. I don't know. But even the bathroom has been given a Western touch. Suspiciously, there are potted green plants as well. The servant quarters are incredibly spacious, enough to make Prek's heart race as she envisioned them eventually becoming her own. Of course they're gonna have Prek there with them. Prek's basically their adopted child already. Let's be honest. They don't need to adopt another child. They're already adopting Prek. We're gonna have our nice little family there in that palace. I'm here for it. Princess Anel's palace is beautiful, my lady. Prek mused as she explored every corner of the Pine Palace. Prek's overlord meticulously planned every detail. How could you not be delighted? Lady Pilantita replied in a hushed tone, almost requiring her to raise an ear to hear. Very intelligent, Prek said. She is more westernized, Lady Pin mused. She is unlike anyone else before she left, anyway. Why should Princess Anil need to be like anyone when she is so much smarter? Prek argued in favor of her overlord until her neck raised. You are quite similar. Always fond of questioning and debating, Lady Pilantita remarked, lifting her disapproving gaze to meet Prek's unwavering stare. I don't know. I can read and write because Princess Anil has spared her playing time to teach me. I was smart because Princess Anil taught me more than my own parents. My beauty radiated, thanks to Princess Anil's constant praise and generous clothing donations. She even gifted me a necklace and bracelet, just like she did for everyone else. Lady Pin, please refrain from speaking ill of Princess Anil where I can hear. It might anger me to the point where I can't control myself. Okay, Prek. Okay, girlie. Yeah, stick up for your friends. I love to see it. She's very loyal to our princess. Have I ever told you all I adore Prek? I mean, let's be honest. I don't think Lady Pin really speaks ill of the princess. I think it's more of a fond annoyance. She's fondly annoyed of the princess. And right now I think she's very nervous and anxious and scared that the princess is going to be different than what she's remembers, and that Europe changed her and she's going to come back a stranger, and I don't think she kind of knows what to expect, so she's a little salty about that. So she's kind of putting in little digs at the princess right now. But yeah, I don't think she actually, I love the enthusiasm and the complete and utter loyalty of Prek, but I think it'd be a little misguided going at Lady Pin. So, anyways, let's get back into it. Prek! Lady Pilantita could only say that and remain silent. for Prek's words of praise upon Princess Anil are echoing in her mind. Being by my side, yet firmly on Princess Anil's team, Prek is quite partial. You have a deep affection for Princess Anil alone, don't you? Prek feigned indifference, as Lady Pin's accusation did hold some truth in her mind. What are the outcomes of 5 years and 6 years? Prek still vividly recalls her 12 years alongside Princess Anil. Please refrain from suggesting that I'm partial. Aren't you the one who loves Princess Anil more than anyone else? Ooh. Okay, Prek. Okay, shots fired. Going for the throat here. I mean, she's not wrong, but double standard much? Talking about favoritism when she's your favorite person in the world. Miss slip into the deepest depression of your life because she left. Okay. Love that Prek is calling her out on her BS though. Loving that. I don't want to argue with you anymore. Pilantita's face suddenly turned red. Now you come in and clean up, Lady Pin said while pretending to look here and there. But there was only one thing that I didn't dare to look at, is Prek's cunning face, which is now staring at her. Yes, I will come here to clean up every day. Prek smiled widely, showing her white teeth. Perhaps not as often. The Grand Prince's engagement ceremony is scheduled for this week, and you'll need to assist with the front palace this time. That's right. I will have to go around the kitchen for snacks, but I will take some time to clean up here every day. Yeah, and keep an eye on you for Princess Anil. She needs to make sure no enemies are encroaching on her territory. She has to protect that with her life, you know? Or in this case, she needs to protect it with Prek's life. She's ready to send Prek to war if anything goes down. Or just immediately come back to Thailand and, Princess Anil's a smart girl. She'll finish school up early. She'll take the exams. She doesn't need to finish it off, and she'll be right back on the next car ride, train ride, I don't know, boat ride back to Thailand. She gets one little sniff of somebody getting a little too close. She's not gonna let that slide, not in her house. Whatever you want, Prek. Lady Pin flicked her eyes at Prek irresistibly. Can Lady Pin flicked her eyes at Tara irresistibly? I mean, intrusive thoughts. I'm sorry. It's Lady Pin. She's looking at Prek irresistibly. I'm picturing Freen looking at Nam irresistibly, and now I'm just wanting her to look at me irresistibly. It's sorry. It happens. Anyway. While Prek did not pay any attention to Lady Pin's eyes, for she hurriedly went to clean up the servant house first. You look as glad as if Princess Anil were returned tomorrow. Pilantita looked at Prek's large, thick back and murmured alone. I mean, to be fair, maybe she won't be. It's her brother's engagement ceremony. I bet you she's gonna be back. Oh, I'm not ready. Is she gonna be back? Okay, we got this. Okay, if she's back, we got this. Don't imagine any slow-mo eyes meeting across the room and, walking to each other, preferably running, but who knows, and, embracing and just not believing that the other one's there, and like this touching of the face, and just, anyways, sorry, my mind's getting away from me. Let's just read to actually find out what happens. A day before the engagement ceremony between Prince Anatawut and Lady Parvati, Princess Padmika recruited many skilled women, including Prek and her niece, Lady Pin, to help out making hundreds of bouquets to decorate the corners of the reception hall, which has been designated as the place of the ceremony. As the reception hall buzzed with commotion, Lady Pin's gaze drifted towards the opulent, shiny black car of Prince Anatawut as it entered the fountain courtyard. From her vantage point, while crafting a delicate crown flower, in brackets, Uba Dokrak. She could discern that the prince wasn't alone in the back seat. He was accompanied by a young woman. Hey, princess. Hey, girl, hey. I'm ready for Lady Pin to be speechless and, I don't know, throw her flower crown and run down a hill and go see her. You know, I don't know. Seeing that the lady kept her head down, making bouquets, thinking that the young lady sitting next to the prince would have to be Lady Parvati, his fiancée. Wrong. Come on. I know where this is going. Even hearing the buzz from the servants sitting around her, the lady is still only focused on making the bouquets. It was only when Prek, who was seated beside Lady Pin, dropped a bundle of garlands in front of her, that Lady Pilantita raised her gaze in the direction of Prek's attention. It was revealed that the girl was not Lady Parvati, but rather a teenage white girl. Wait, what? Okay. Okay. Wait, okay, sorry, that threw me. A teenage white girl. Okay, sorry. It's me, everyone. You don't know it, but I inserted myself into this book so that when Lady Pin looked up, she would see me, and then she'd just be so, awestruck that I would, steal her from the princess, and we would go run off together and live happily ever after. But that's what's happening right now. You're seeing it firsthand. You're welcome. This is turning into my version of fan fiction. Sorry. If anything, she would see me step out of the car and she'd immediately turn away and run away as fast as she could. She'd be like, no, get this white girl away from me. Anyways. Sorry. My fan fiction got it away from me. We're back to the story now, I promise. It was revealed that the girl was not Lady Parvati, but rather a teenage white girl. She possessed a slender, tall, and graceful figure with impeccable posture, aligning her straight back with her shoulders and regal neck. Her oval-shaped face was slightly upturned, highlighting the contour of her jaw. Her slender, dark eyes were expressive, radiant, and sparkled with life. She had a lovely nose and lips tinted with a soft brick red hue, until that familiar face fixed its gaze on Lady Pin, causing her heart to flutter before she broke into a gentle smile, revealing adorable dimples on both her smooth cheeks. That's why Lady Pin was confident at that moment. Dot, dot, dot. Nothing can go wrong, and Lady Pin was not dreaming. The girl standing in front of her is really Tara. Sorry, I'm lying. Sorry. The girl standing in front of her is really Princess Anilapat Suetawarid. No, if that's the Princess Anil, why'd she say a teenage white girl? Europe couldn't have changed her that much. Right? But sorry, that was the end of chapter 12. She's finally back. I knew it. I kind of had a feeling when she hinted when they said, "Oh, why is Prek so excited? Like, Anil's coming back tomorrow." And of course, as soon as they said that, I was like, of course, it's his ceremony, it's his wedding ceremony. You think his sister's gonna miss that? No. But 2 years. Last chapter, they said they had 2 more years. So did we just skip 2 years at the beginning of this chapter? Or is she home early for the wedding and she'll be going back to Europe to finish off her schooling? That I'm a little confused by. I don't actually know what the time skip was here. But, I mean, I guess we're going to find out in the next few chapters if there was a time skip or not. But, yeah, that was interesting. I like that we got to see a little bit more about the struggles and how being a part of the royal family is not all it's kind of cracked up to be. You have a lot of responsibility and kind of expectations put on you. And the fact that the brother, the prince, is actually, I don't know if in love, but like he has attraction to Lady Ungfa, but he's supposed to be marrying Lady Parvati. I wonder if that's relationship is going to foreshadow Princess Anil and Lady Pin's relationship, because it's like you can't say no to the king, right? Your father in that instance, especially back in this time. So if the father, when Princess Anil's back, says you have to marry this person, even though the brother said that the father hasn't found anybody worthy of his daughter, but when he does, it's going to be hard for Princess Anil to be like no, because that's her duty, right, as an royal family member. And I hate saying duty because, like, ugh, but back then that's what it was, right? So I'm a little worried now that that's going to foreshadow Princess Anil and Lady Pin's relationship, where the father wants her to marry a prince or whatever, and then she kind of has to go through with that, and then Lady Pin is the one she really loves, but she can't be with her, and then they have this whole thing of, you know, having the wedding ceremony and all that. So I don't know if that's like a foreshadowing or not, but I'm kind of a little nervous about it. I'm hoping the king never thinks any man is worthy enough for his daughter, and then when she says she wants to be a spinster for the rest of her life, he's like, okay, that's fine, I don't want any man near you, you're good, you go be a spinster, you can live in the palace, your Pine Palace, for the rest of your life, we got you, your brothers will ascend to the throne, they'll make sure you're taken care of, don't worry about it, you know, fingers crossed. But yeah, I don't know how this next chapter is gonna go, though. I was hoping that Princess Anil would be back soon, because I mean 3 chapters of her not there was rough, but now that she's back, I'm a little nervous to see how it plays out, because she was away to Europe, right? She was taught different things, she was exposed to a different culture, so she's definitely probably not going to be the same princess we know from the beginning of the book. But is she going to be that much different? And how will, you know, her interactions with Lady Pin be? Will it be awkward because they're trying to relearn each other? Will it be just like sparks right off the bat? Yeah, I'm interested to see kind of their first interaction now, because, you know, they seemed a little fluttery when Princess Anil stepped out of that car and Lady Pin saw her for the first time. I mean, she was very descriptive about how beautiful she was. Yeah, so I'm excited to see kind of their first interaction now that she's back, but I'm a little nervous because chapter 13 is titled Stranger, so I don't know if that means like they're strangers to each other and we're gonna have a whole bunch of angst for the next few chapters, or, you know, I don't know. I'm a little nervous. I hope we don't have too much angst. We're chapter 13, and I want a little bit of, you know, romance and tension and love between them. Is that too much to ask for? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, let's get into chapter 13. I'm excited to read their first interaction together, and I'm a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, yeah, let's get right into it. Chapter 13, Stranger. Princess Anil only came to attend Prince Anand's auspicious event. She is not returning permanently. You don't have to be so exhilarating happy, Prek. That answers my question, so we still have 2 more years of separation to deal with. Come on. Oh man, that's I'm sad. Oh. But I mean, at least they kind of get to see each other. and kind of catch up and see where each other has grown and, you know, changed over the years they've been apart. So it won't, at least now they're getting to see each other, but it will probably be a lot harder to say goodbye again for another 2 years. Oh, that's rough, ladies, that's rough. And also, it says Prince Anand's, not Prince Anatawut. And it was Prince Anatawut who was feeling things for Lady Ungfa. So wait, so is there no love triangle? Did I just misread that whole beginning chapter? There's no actual love triangle. They're just Prince Anand's marrying the girl he likes, and what Prince Anatawut just is not marrying the girl he wants. I'm confused by this now. But anyways, let's just continue on with this chapter. As Princess Padmika commented on Prek's changed demeanor, it became evident that Prek wasn't the only one who appeared withered, like a dried flower, upon learning the reason for Princess Anil's early return. This time, Pilantita inadvertently released a long sigh, her shoulders drooping with weariness, much like Prek. "Then will Princess Anil only stay for a few days, Auntie?" Lady Pin asked her aunt soundlessly. "I heard she'll be staying here for a few months. It coincides with the school break before the new year, which aligns with your university schedule." Just hearing her auntie say several months was sufficient to alleviate Lady Pin's anxiety, prompting a smile to grace her lips. Aww. She was so worried that the heartbreak would happen within a few days, but, you know, and only getting a few days with the girl you love before she leaves for 2 more years. I'm glad that she was able to come back down, but if their school breaks line up, why hasn't she been down more? I guess it's probably pricey, even for a royal family, but still, at least she's down for a few months. That's good. A lot can happen in a few months. What a coincidence, Auntie, that the marriage of Prince Anand coincides with Princess Anil's school holiday. It's not a mere coincidence. On the contrary, Prince Anand desired his sister to return for his wedding, which is why he decided to hold the ceremony during this time frame. Is that so, Auntie? Prince Anand really loved and endured his little sister. He loved Princess Anil like his eldest daughter, and even the king asked his son, "So is it me, or are you Anil's father?" Princess Padmika, giggling, said, "He's not only selected the timing, but also took care of all the arrangements, including securing returning tickets and expediting the construction of Pine Palace to welcome Princess Anil." This time, both Lady Pin and Prek nodded almost simultaneously, because they just understood the reason for speeding up the construction and decoration of the Pine Palace 2 years before the return of its owner. "Did you know of this early arrival, Auntie?" "I just found out from Prince Anand the other day, when I asked you and Prek to clean the Pine Palace up." "But why did Princess Alyssa seem to not know about Princess Anil's return?" Lady Pin asked her aunt. Thinking of Princess Alyssa's joyful moment, she jumped in and embraced her little daughter in the hall of the front palace this afternoon. "Anil, why didn't you tell me that you'll be coming back, my lovely girl?" Saying only that, Princess Alyssa did not wait to hear Princess Anil's answer in any way. She hugs tightly and kisses Princess Anil's forehead as if Princess Anil was just a little girl. Princess Alyssa's mouth was smiling with pleasure, but instead, Princess Alyssa's eyes lit up with thunderstorms that finally poured down and shrouded in her deepest love that she missed her youngest daughter so much, even though she had just visited her daughter last year. Pilantita recalls watching the events unfold before her, her emotions a blend of nostalgia and fondness, reminiscent of the way Princess Anil's eyes used to light up when kissed and embraced by her mother, and felt floating as she repeatedly asked herself if the scene in front was true, or if she was just dreaming. Oh, but did she get to talk to the princess? Did they get a moment together? Or did her parents just whisk her away to go with the festivities and get, prepared and everything? Like, I mean, of course she's gonna embrace her mother first, but come on. Where's their first interaction? As if she shows up and they just don't interact. Like, what? That's not okay with me. But I guess, hopefully, if they didn't get that initial interaction that I wanted, their first interaction is more private without a whole bunch of prying eyes, so they can actually be open and genuine with their emotions, which I guess would be better. But still, I kind of wanted to see a slow-mo run and hug and, you're here, oh my god. Anyways. Even feeling jealous of Princess Alyssa, that she was able to easily get close and possess Princess Anil's body. Different. Possessive. Excuse me? What? Even feeling jealous of Princess Alyssa, Princess Anil's mother, that she was able to easily get close and possess Princess Anil's body. Interesting translation to English. I'm sure it didn't sound nearly as, sexual and Thai. But, interesting. Lady Pin, interesting. Jealous of a girl's mother because she got to, in your words, possess the princess's body. Well, that goes to show you how down bad Lady Pin is for the princess, if she's even jealous of the princess's mother because she got to embrace her and hug her and, be with her right away, and she couldn't. Interesting. Just such an interesting translation. Possess Princess Anil's body. Okay, cool. Anyways, back to the story. Different from her who up until now could only watch from afar. Princess Alyssa was unaware. Unlike the others, her son and daughter were kept as a secret to surprise her. Auntie's clear voice woke Lady Pin from her trance. Do all the foreigners call it sepai? Sepai, which means daughter-in-law. I feel like I'm really saying that name wrong. I apologize. If anybody knows how to pronounce Sepai or S-A-P-A-I, let me know. Thank you. Because I'm definitely pronouncing that one wrong. Do the foreigners call it Sepai? Daughter-in-law, my lady? Prek, now as cheerful as a flower in the rain, inquired Princess Padmika with a lively and clear voice full of brightness. They call it a surprise, Prek. It is another time that Princess Pad gives time to joke around with the affectionate servant like Prek. Ah, Sir Pare. Sir Pare. Supre. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Next time I will correct it. Princess Padmika smiled when she saw how determined Prek was with her tongue rolling when she uttered the words Surpare. I'm trying to roll. Surpare. Wow, I'm really bad at this. This is gonna be a bad chapter. I apologize. Princess Pad, Princess Anil would like to come to see you. Suddenly, Finn, the servant of the Boar Palace, walked in and informed Princess Padmika with a hasty gesture. She came here. Yes, your highness. Hurry up and invite Princess Anil in. Please don't let her wait for long, Auntie's voice said with joy, as if it made Pilantita's heart beat so hard that it almost bounced out. She also held her breath unconsciously as she looked at Princess Anil's thin, tall body, which walked gracefully yet humbly after May Finn. Girl, seems like every time Princess Anil comes into Lady Pin's orbit, she's always very descriptive with how the princess looks. It's like she takes her all in, every aspect of her. It's like she's savoring her as she walks near her orbit. It's been a long time, Aunt Pad. The princess curtsied as a gesture of respect towards Princess Padmika before breaking into a radiant smile. Please take a seat, Princess Anil. Thank you so much for making the effort to greet me at the palace, said Princess Padmika, reaching out to touch Princess Anilapat, hinting her to sit on a single wooden chair beside her. Here is a little gift from England I brought to you. Princess Anil handed Princess Padmika a gift box wrapped in navy paper, wrapped with elegant silver ribbon in a respectful manner. Thank you, Princess Anil, for still thinking of me. The look in Princess Padmika's eyes now could not hide the slightest hint of admiration for the younger woman in front of her. Just a moment ago, in the hall, I was very rude. Mother grabbed me, hugged me, and kissed me non-stop. Then she dragged me to the bedroom. Therefore, I did not pay respect to you, or even say hello to Kun Pin and Prek even for a little bit. It's perfectly fine. Don't worry. Your mother was eagerly anticipating your return, so it's only natural to be this joyful. I understand. Princess Padmika spoke with a deep understanding that no one else possessed regarding the sorrow Princess Alyssa had endured during the past 5 to 6 years while being separated from her cherished little daughter, who was the apple of her eye. How are you doing? Asked Princess Anilapat, smiling. I am fine, Princess Padmika answered, looking at Princess Anil thoughtfully. She was beautiful in her youth. At this moment, her beauty had doubled, not to mention her graceful and dignified stride, which left Princess Padmika unable to cease her admiration. I mean, come on. Come on. Becky playing this? Of course she's graceful and dignified and just gorgeous and, just everything. Man, I don't know who I would have imagined before I knew that Freen and Becky were playing these characters, but nowhere close to Freen and Becky. Now it's so interesting to read this book and see them as these characters, and now it just makes me even more fangirly while reading this book. So I apologize for all the pauses, but I'm fangirling a little bit, just a little bit here, okay? After small chit-chats, Princess Anil bowed and asked for Princess Padmika's permission with respect. However, today I would like to request the presence of Kun Pin and Prek to accompany me at the Pine Palace, Auntie. Princess Anil's delightful voice caused both Lady Pilantita and Prek to clench their lips tightly, struggling to contain their excitement. Princess Anil doesn't have to ask to borrow them, Princess Padmika said, smiling. Even if you do not ask, I will give them to you. What is stuck in your throat, Prek? Despite the words Princess Padmika said to Prek, her eyes were fixed on her niece, Lady Pilantita's reddened face. Well, Princess Padmika, our girl Prek is a little more naughty than you think. And by you saying, I will give them to you, And you only looking at Lady Pin's face, whose cheeks are reddening. I mean, 1+1, Miss Princess Padmika, it equals 2. And, you know, saying you're going to give your niece to the princess. And our girl, Prek, knowing what's going on between them two, being the princess's little spy to keep the men away, you know, she knows the hidden meaning behind that, and she wasn't expecting it. She choked on her own spit. She was just so flustered and shocked and gobsmacked, you know? What is stuck in your throat, Prek? Despite the words Princess Padmika said to Prek, her eyes were fixed on her niece, Lady Pilantita's reddened face. Nothing, Your Highness, Prek answered, before bowing her head to her knees in the fear of death. Oh, man. My plan is that Lady Pin will be responsible for Princess Anil's welfare during your time at the Pine Palace. Thank you for your kindness, Auntie. Lady Pin, what do you think? Just looking at her, Lady Pilantita was completely frightened. No problem, Auntie. Good. Then you can go with Princess Anil first, and I will let Prek do some errands for a moment, then to follow you two. Thank you so much, Princess Anil answered Princess Padmika, before turning to give Pilantita a sweet smile, showing off her cheek side dimples as usual. Oh my god. If Becky smiles with all the dimples, I'm gonna be so weak. I will not be prepared. Kunpin. Princess Anil lifted up her face from a large suitcase that is now scattered with souvenirs. There are scarves woven from many fine fabrics, several boxes of expensive perfumes, chocolate with many flavors, and many more souvenirs. Yes. Lady Pin only can reply to Princess Anil, then tighten her lips as before, as she always did, when Princess Anil started dragging a giant suitcase out and placing it on the fleece carpet in front of the fireplace. She opens and searches the items as if they were alive, until she looks up and calls Lady Pin's name a moment ago. What's wrong? You have been looking at me like that since entering my palace. Princess Anil halted her teasing. She gazed up at Pilantita with her strikingly clear, serious brown eyes, causing Pilantita to avert her gaze. What kind of look? The kind that sees me as somebody else. ... Lady Pilantita acknowledges that she is unaccustomed to Princess Anil's currently more intense, sparkling eyes, and can only remain silent, lost for words. Kunpin acted as if you did not know me before. ... Even though I wrote to you every day, I couldn't help but be frustrated. Princess Anil's soft voice and the twinkle in her eyes were akin to a sharp razor blade, slicing through Pilantita's heart and causing her pain. It's just I haven't seen you for so long. Pilantita's voice stuttered. Even though I received weekly letters from Anil, they were still letters I couldn't physically touch. These two. It's not the same. She just wanted to have the princess there so she can hug her and, just touch her and be there, and all she got were letters and words and not being there and not knowing what, she's actually going through and experiencing there, and not being able to show her not to drink warm milk before bed so that she stays up all night, just... This is breaking my heart. This is sad. But, come on, letters I couldn't physically touch. That's just... I love that line. They were still letters, even though I received weekly letters from Anil, they were still letters I couldn't physically touch. Love that line. Oh, that got me. Oh, my girls. Okay. Lady Pilantita approached Princess Anilapat, who was seated on the room's floor, and took a seat opposite her. They gazed into each other's dark eyes for a prolonged moment. In my recollection, Anil has always remained the same, much like the latest photograph you enclosed in a letter 2 years ago. Lady Pin speaks with an absent-minded face, while staring at the face which looks like the photo she looks at before going to bed every night. I mean, I kind of, like, I get where she's coming from. She got so much information from her in letters, and she knows what's going on in her life currently and kind of a little bit of where her mind space is at, but she still just remembers her as the girl she last seen and that she last interacted with, and the last physical manifestation of her in her life. And now all she has is an idea of her and the words she wrote on paper. Like, of course she's going to be a bit uncomfortable or leery or worried or awkward with her in real life when she realizes that all those words on paper and everything she's read about her has changed the woman she remembers. Because in her mind, she was still picturing that 14 or 15-year-old girl she was really close to and who was her whole world. And now she's back, and her life events changed her. And she's trying to come to terms with that because that's not what she experienced. She didn't get to experience that with her. So she's trying to kind of understand it all, and it might be coming across as like a little rude because she doesn't really know what to say to her. But I can see how the princess kind of probably feels a little put off from that because she wants to get back into what they were like before, and it's just a little more difficult for the lady to do that. This is kind of sad and heartbreaking, actually. Anyways, let's get back into it. In my recollection, Anil has always remained the same, much like the latest photograph you enclosed in a letter 2 years ago. Lady Pin speaks with an absent-minded face while staring at the face which looks like the photo she looks at before going to bed every night. The distinction lies in the fact that Princess Anil's face before her, in the flesh and blood, appears even more beautiful and vibrant than the pallid photograph. But Anil, who stands in front of me, has now grown into an elegantly grown woman beyond my imagination. Pilantita paused, swallowing hard as her saliva went down her throat. ... I beg your forgiveness to admit honestly that I still perceive you as a stranger and more in the fading memories of the young Anil. ... The moment she uttered the words, everything around them was silent. The more she observed the beautiful face before her, the paler and sadder it seemed. Oh. Lady Pilantita almost wished she could retract her cold, hurtful words and keep them locked within her conscience when she witnessed Princess Anilapat muster a sorrowful smile, as she wasn't sure how to compose her own expression. Pilantita hates herself so much. Is that so? Princess Anil simply said, then looked down at the scarf in her hand aimlessly. I got it. Are you angry? It appeared that the person responsible for uttering the words that had cast a shadow over Princess Anil seemed much more despondent than she did. I am not. Princess Anil's voice is calm. She looked down, only staring at the items in her suitcase. Just felt sorry. About what? Unconsciously, at this moment, Lady Pilantita was so close to Princess Anil that her shoulders almost rubbed against Princess Anil's shoulder. About me taking little Anil from you. the princess said and laughed in a soft voice. I just have grown up every day, not able to be the little Anil that you are used to. Please forgive me. Oh, wait, that's not something Princess Anil should be apologizing for. Oh no, why does she feel the need to apologize? That's so sad. It's not like it was her choice to go move away to school. And like, people grow up when they grow up. Like, Lady Pin has changed too. Like, oh no, I don't like that she's apologizing for that. That's so sad. The fact that she feels the need to apologize to her for changing and growing up. And just, oh, that's actually kind of heartbreaking. Do not say that, Anil. Pilantita's heart suddenly fell, only to hear Princess Anil's swaying voice. Because I, myself, am not the same girl Anil used to know either. Okay, good. So the lady recognizes that, she changed as well. Okay, good. So she's not letting all the blame rest on Princess Anil. Good, yay. I love this. Good communication, ladies. Keep communicating like this. Keep, being honest and open with each other. I love this. Go girls. I do not think so. This time, Princess Anil has eye contact with Lady Pin. When I first saw your face this afternoon, I did not think of anything complicated. Princess Anil gave a brief, sweet smile like no one would often see. I am so happy and overwhelmed to see you again. I was so happy that I almost wanted to jump in to hug you right there. Dot, dot, dot. Be it Kunpin from my youth, Kunpin whom I've only encountered through letters, or even the sweet, lovely Kunpin standing before me now. The princess's soft voice took on an incredibly dreamy quality. I love... Oh! Now... Okay. I'm channeling my inner Freen. We're getting a love confession from the princess. Okay. This is like, okay. You love every version of Lady Pin. Okay, I see you, princess. I see you. You didn't even care if she changed, because you would still love any facet, any version of the lady. You didn't care because you knew you were coming home and that things would change, and you knew you were gonna get your girl, and you knew that things were gonna change, so she already knew her love was gonna transcend any kind of changes that they've experienced in their life. I'm the princess. I'm okay. But I'm loving like seeing the different kind of characteristics and qualities of the two characters and how they view things, because the princess is like, I don't care what changed, I love you and I know I'm gonna love any version of you. And then Lady Pin is just nervous that the princess going away to Europe and getting more life experience and kind of getting all this, education, and just like not just like, school education, but just education on life in the world, and then coming back and being changed and not, wanting to be around or be with somebody who doesn't have the same level of worldly education. I think maybe that's a little bit on Lady Pin's mind, especially since like it doesn't show that she loves the princess any less than what the princess loves her. It just shows kind of like how different they view the situation, because Lady Pin clearly loves the princess. It's just she's so worried that the princess won't love her or be the same, and just probably won't want to be as close to her as she was because of her experience. And then the princess is just all in. She just doesn't care what anything happens when they were gone. She's just all in. I loves her, and I'm just living for this. Anyways, sorry, that's me just kind of freaking out, and that was a little too long of a freak out. So let's just get right back into this. I love every version of you. ... Before Pilantita's wide, doe-like brown eyes could fully register such words, there came the sound of hurried footsteps, as if someone was rushing forward to intervene. Let me guess, Princess Padmika. Because she doesn't like that lesbianisms in her household. She is fighting the lesbianisms. She's like, no, that's not happening here. She's like, I sensed it. I smelled the gay activity happening. She's like, a shark in water, a little drop of gayness happening. She's like, oh no, I'm there. Be gone, gays, be gone. I'm just kidding. I like Princess Padmika. It's probably just Prek coming from doing her duties and excited to finally see the princess again, but still. Is that Prek? Princess Anil's gloomy eyes suddenly turned into sparkles. Why are you sneaking around in front of the door like that and not coming in? Can I, my princess? Prek knows. Prek's like, am I interrupting something? Am I gonna see the lesbian? What's happening in that bedroom? Hey, my girl Prek, she knows. She knows there might be something happening behind that closed door that she needs to wait. Can I, my princess? That's funny. At that moment, Prek peered half her face through the wide doorway, but remained outside the palace. Why not? Come in. I have many things for you. Really, my princess? The happy voice makes Lady Pin reluctantly look at Prek, who was running towards her overlord with a gesture like a little dog anxiously waiting for its owner. How are you? Do you remember me? Princess Anil's smile is as bright as the summer sun. I missed you so much. I also missed you so much, my lady. Prek's clear tears filled her eyes. When you left, my life was so bland. I was no different from you. I was lonely and alone, Princess Anil said, falling to Prek. No followers. Well, Princess Anil, as you search all across the country, I am the only one who will be your loyal companion, Prek said with a cheerful laugh. That's right. I only have you, as you said. What about you? Do you have a partner now? Prek does not have a husband yet, my princess. Is that so? Said Princess Anil and laughed fondly. Yes, at times I've thought about it, but then again, I believe not having one is better. Men are so annoying. Anyways. From that point onward, Lady Pilantita felt like an onlooker as she observed a servant speak warmly to her mistress. As soon as Prek received several freshly dyed scarves and numerous chocolates as gifts, she hastily made her way to the servants' quarter, having heard Princess Anil's words with her own ears. That house belongs to you. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh. The princess. Is there anybody more perfect than the princess? No. The answer is no. I didn't even have to think about it. You didn't even have to think about it. The answer is no. The princess is perfect. That's all I'm going to say. After Prek had left a little while, the atmosphere between the two women suddenly became awkwardly silent. Princess Anil gazed at the sweet yet self-assured countenance for a brief moment. She noticed the slender, curved eyebrows, the familiarly shaped nose, and the plump lips adorned with gentle hues. However, Her large, round, raw, umber-colored eyes appear cloudy, as if their owner were in a sour mood. "What's wrong? You look moody." Finally, Princess Anil, who had been silent all along, was the first to speak. "Really? I didn't realize." Pilantita turned away arrogantly. "Or did Prek say something offensive?" Princess Anil's inquisitive, sparkling eyes appeared endearing. "If anyone said something offensive, it would have been you." How come?" "Never mind. It is not that important." Lady Pin's lips, shaped like chestnuts, suddenly contorted as if bothered. "How can I let things go? I do not want to see you frown." "Does it really matter if I frown or not?" "Yes, it does." Princess Anil flirtatiously smiled. "I do not feel good when I see you frown." The princess is just... I mean, come on. She just wants her girl to be happy all the time. She friggin' built a palace for her. Come on. They're like, where are girls like Princess Anil in real life? Like, come on. This amount of love and just loyalty and dedication and respect and just love for somebody. Oh my god. This is gonna be rough. Becky, in playing this is gonna be rough. Oh no. Oh no. I just, as like a little side note, I just want to apologize to Freen in the future if, I'm loyal. I'm loyal to Freen. I'm not gonna sway or, kind of curve or zigzag on the Freen and Becky Freen thing. I'm loyal, but oh, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough seeing Becky play this character. It's gonna be rough. Anyways, continuing on. Love you, Freen. Okay, just had to put that out there. Anyways, let's go. After conversing fluidly to each other, Lady Pin feels like getting her little Anil back when she clearly noticed that her Princess Anilapat was still as charming and persuasive as ever. There is no difference. "I want you to smile more. You have a beautiful smile." "I guess having Prek smile is enough." "You miss each other so much, don't you?" Dang. For those of you who haven't read the book and are listening to it for the first time and experiencing it for the first time through this podcast, just so you all know, you miss each other so much, don't you? The miss is in bold. So I guess we know through that how salty Lady Pin is in regards to Prek and the princess's reunion in comparison to her and the princess's reunion. Okay, Lady Pin. Calm down. Lady Pin's eyes were cold, but full of power until Princess Anil was still in awe. "Oh, so that's the thing you don't like." ... Pilantita did not say anything. Moreover, she stubbornly tried to get up and run away, but Princess Anil reached out and grabbed her hand tightly instead. Oh. "Kunpin, wait. Please do not go yet." Princess Anil's eyes are so affectionate at this moment. "With Prek, I really miss her." "I know. You said that many times." Pilantita, whose thin hands were held tightly, replied with an outraged voice. Although she couldn't have known that her own emotions were somewhat tangled and disconcerted. Moreover, by the princess's thumb rubbing on her backhand gently, Lady Pin's thoughts were too blank to realize anything. Girlie's going blank over just a back of the hand rub with a thumb. imagine what's girly. I mean, fair. If Becky or Freen even breathed in the same vicinity of me, I would blank out. But I mean, come on. Lady Pin's thoughts were too blank to realize anything. With Preg, I just miss her like a close friend. ... Gay ... But with you... Princess Anil shifted the hand that was holding Lady Pin's slender fingers to her own fair cheek, then gazed into Lady Pin's eyes affectionately. ... I feel more than that. And that's the end of chapter 13. Girly, we got an I love you, and we got an I feel more than that friendship with Preg. Okay. So she's put it all out there. She came out of that closet with doors flinging wide open, pride flag wrapped around her body, and, you know, doing a little jig saying, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I feel more than friendship with you. Yeah, girl. I wasn't expecting a full-blown confession in gayness, like literally confessing of gay feelings in this chapter. That was chapter 13. And then Girly's gonna like boot her, but then Girly's gonna like hightail it out of there in like a month or two and go back to England for like 2 years after. But you know what? Long distance. I mean, if anything, queer women know that Thailand, England, it's nothing. Come on. 2 years of that's what's long distance in a relation? That's nothing. Long distance, my behind. They can go long distance. That's not a problem. But wow. Okay, princess. I was not expecting you to outright just say, yeah, no, Preg, friend. You? Friend, yeah. Okay. Sure. Friend. Oh my god. How is Lady Pin gonna react to that? Because I feel like Lady Pin is still a little too shy and too like she doesn't deny her feelings. Like she clearly knows she feels strongly for the princess, and she gets jealous over the princess and possessive over the princess. So she somewhat knows her feelings are more than her feelings that she has for her friends in school. So I just think she might not be ready yet for more romantic feelings. I hope I'm wrong. I hope she literally, you know, nosedives out of that closet alongside her, waving her little queer flag, and just, you know, they get together and they live happily ever after. But that's not gonna happen, is it? No. But oh my gosh, you know, the princess is back when you have amazing one-liners that just like gut punch you, like I love you, and you know, I feel more than that. Like, come on. The princess always ends the chapters off on some kind of flirty confession of feelings. Usually it's only one, but this time it's 2. I was not expecting that. I thought all we were going to get was the I love you, and then that was going to be it for the confessing of feelings. But dang, we got a double whammy here, and I'm still not over it, as you can tell. Oh no, because now I just need to know how Lady Pin responds. But I literally can't read the next chapter right now, but I want to know so bad. Huh. Well, how do you... I'm not gonna be... I say this every time, but I'm not gonna survive this show. And I don't know if I'm gonna survive later chapters. I'm really nervous now, because I'm having the suspicion from people telling me that they're excited and they can't wait for me to read later chapters, that something's gonna happen, and I don't know. Oh no, I don't know how I'm gonna read that. But yeah, okay. This is gonna be torture waiting for this next chapter. But anyways, what a 2 chapters. I'm just glad that we're getting like the princess back for a short period of time, because I couldn't have taken another chapter of just not having the princess there. We got 3 chapters back to back without the princess being there, and I just didn't want another one. And I'm glad this 4th chapter we got interactions between the princess and the lady. And we're clearly seeing that Prek knows what's going on, and I have a funny feeling if they do get together and have to hide their relationship, that our girl Prek is going to be the little conspirator, and she's going to help them hide the relationship. She'll be like, they'll be in the pantry making out, and then Prek and will be walking by, hear it, and then Princess Padmika would be walking by, and then Prek would be like, oh no, nothing's happening here, don't worry, what, it's just me waving my hands in front of the pantry door, nothing to see here. Oh man, this book, I don't know what it is, but I'm really loving this book, and I can't wait to read the next chapter. And I feel like that every time I finish one of these podcasts, it's just like I can't wait to read the next chapter. And that's what I love about books, is when you can't, or you don't want to put it down. Like I just need to know what's going to happen between them. Like I understand that the grammar and the changing from Thai to English is not as fluid as like native English book would be, because there is like a lot of run-on sentences, and I do my best to try to figure out where like a comma or a period would be, and try to relay that as I read, but it is a little bit difficult sometimes, so it might seem like I'm just going on one long tangent without stopping or pausing, but I'm doing my best to try to make it as fluid as possible. But even with that, it's the story itself is so captivating that I don't even really recognize half the time the grammatical errors and, you know, just the sentence structure and the flowing issues. That's one thing I love about it, is that it draws you in and you kind of just forget all that and don't focus on all that. So this is a testament to the author's writing capabilities and storytelling capabilities. I'm really, really loving this book. But anyways, that's the end for this podcast. I hope you all enjoyed it. And yeah, if you guys have any feedback or comments, just let me know. Either if you're watching this on Spotify, you can let me know in the Spotify comment section. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can let me know in the YouTube comment section. You know, wherever you're watching this, let me know how you're feeling, what you think of the story so far, what your thoughts are of the book. At this point in time in the chapter, please don't spoil any future chapters for me. But yeah, kind of give me your thoughts on what's happening in the book so far. And if you have any kind of feedback for me, let me know. I always enjoy feedback. This is my first time doing a podcast, and it's my first time kind of reading a whole book out loud. So I know sometimes it may be difficult because I still struggle with the character voices, and I do try my best to make them distinct, but I know that it can possibly just not be the voice you picture, so I apologize for that. I'm doing my best, especially for the first time reading through this. I don't really know these characters besides Becky and Freen, and as you can see, I'm struggling even with Becky and Freen to imitate their voices, so I'm doing my best, but please bear with me. And yeah, but besides that, thank you all for joining me on this episode, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, everyone.